Well, if you didn't realize it by now, we are in peak pie season. For our next guest, though, pie season never ends. Olympia's Taylor Harbin is the author of the new cookbook, Pie All the Time. She showed me a tasty recipe for a mulling spice apple rye pandowdy. What's a pandowdy? You're about to find out.
We are making a mulling spice apple rye pandowdy, which is from my new book, Pie All the Time. So a pandowdy I like to think of as kind of a cross between a cobbler and a pie. So it has like this really rich, delicious fruit filling, and there's no crust on the bottom, so it makes it really simple. Kind of pieces of pie dough over the top of the filling.
I think I might be able to handle this. Let's get started. Show us the crust.
Yeah, so I made a rye dough ahead of time. I made this yesterday, and then I just rolled it out a little bit ago. And it's rolled out to about 1/4 of an inch thick. And I just like to cut out rounds, and we're going to cut out this whole dough, and it's eventually going to become the topping. So if you can see this.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be perfect, and that's kind of the beauty of this dessert.
Could you get like a cookie cutter in the shape of a leaf and do it, or would that be kind of too much?
Actually, when I was testing the recipe for the book, I did use a leaf cookie cutter. So that would be perfect.
That's really cool. So once you've got that all cut out, what goes into the filling?
In real time, this would go back into the fridge and kind of firm up and chill while we make the filling, so it's nice and cold when it goes into the oven.
Okay, good to know.
So we have 3 pounds of apples here that I've already peeled and sliced, and I like a mix of Granny Smith and Gala. The Granny Smith is kind of really tart and a little bit firm, and then the Gala is a little creamy and sweeter.
Oh, I've never thought of mixing 2 kinds of apples to make anything.
Yeah, you can really use any kind of apple that you enjoy eating, but that's just kind of like the mix that I enjoy. So to this, we're going to add some brown sugar, and that's going to sweeten it up a little bit and also kind of make almost like a caramely filling. And then some flour. This is going to thicken the juices in there, and so it will kind of make that sauce a little bit thicker. And then we're going to add, this is kind of the special secret ingredient. So this is rye whiskey.
Oh.
Yeah. It kind of gives you like that hot toddy mulling cider vibe, which is really the best part of this pie. And it has kind of the flavor mirroring the rye in the crust. So if you have rye or if you can find it, that's great. If not, you can totally use bourbon, any other kind of, whiskey that you like.
I mean, just some whiskey is good.
Right. Yeah, can't go wrong. And then spices, we have cinnamon, brown ginger, and clove. And then a zest, I already zested this just a minute ago, of a whole orange. And that combined with the spices is really what's going to give us that mulled cider flavor. And then just a nice big pinch of sea salt or kosher salt.
Okay.
And then we're just going to mix this up.
How did the book come together?
Yeah, I have a blog, All Purpose Flower Child, kind of like my passion project for the last few years. I just kind of was approached by a publisher last year and had the opportunity to, put my work into a book, which really was a dream come true. It's something that I always wanted to do.
I love that. So once the apples are all stirred up, what kind of dish do you put them in to cook?
Yeah, so traditionally a pandowdy is cooked in a skillet or a pan, but you could honestly use any kind of deep dish.
Okay.
This is just an 8 or a 10-inch cast iron skillet, and you don't have to grease it or anything like that beforehand. So we're just going to pour the filling in here, and you're going to think this is way too many apples, but it will cook down. So what we're going to do is just kind of lay these little shapes that we've cut out on top of the filling, and I like to overlap them a little bit, kind of shingle them so that they completely cover the filling. And then after this is completely covered, we're going to take some egg wash, which is just a beaten egg. And we're going to brush the crust. And this is going to kind of help just give the crust a really shiny, beautiful appearance after it's baked. And then it's also going to help the sugar that we're going to sprinkle on adhere. So this is Demerara sugar, which is like a coarse, unrefined cane sugar that has almost like a caramely note. You could also use like raw sugar, turbinado sugar, even a regular granulated sugar in a pinch would work, but it really just adds like a nice finishing touch.
Yeah.
A little bit of crispness and almost like a sparkle.
Do you have one the finished product?
Is how it looks when it's all done. So
Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. And it almost sparkles.
it does, yeah, with that sugar on top.
Oh my goodness, does that not sound so tasty?